Hey, what's up, Stay Tuners? It's your good friend Jimbo here, letting you know that today's podcast is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. I recently joined as a member, and you can too. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with advertisers that fit your audience. That's podgo.co at podgo.co.
You heard the rest. Now here's the best. Stay Tuned Sports Podcast.
And hello there, all you Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. It's your good friend Jimbo here, back again by myself this week. Had a little bit of a family situation yesterday. That's why I'm releasing this episode now instead of normally at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. But we do have some stuff to talk about. Some XFL news finally coming out. Will it come back in 2021? We'll touch on that. Baseball news, NFL news. But before all that stuff, head over to Twitter, follow us there at ST Sports Podcast, as well as our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm not doing a live or a video episode this week. That was all King, and I want to give a thanks to him for putting that all together. But definitely will be happening more and more as the time goes on. So, and also head over to staytunedsports.net. We have a link there. All our episodes are there. Plus, if you want to get in contact with myself, or if you want to buy some t-shirts from Teespring, we have the link in there as well. So, enough of plugging all that stuff. Let's get to sports. So, earlier this week came out some XFL news that there are around 20 companies, broadcast companies, interested in purchasing the XFL league and even bring it back to life in 2021 springtime. Unfortunately, they had to sign, anybody that was interested had to sign a non-disclosure agreement form, so the names cannot be released. But Fox and Disney are rumored to be potentially one of them, and I think this is actually a big deal and may affect the NFL as well. And here's why. So when the players and the NFL were trying to come to a new CBA, the television deals were up and they couldn't get the television deals done until they got the CBA done. Well, they got the CBA deal done now. Now, the reason why I think this is interesting with Fox and Disney is because if they own XFL, now they're not going to be making as much money with the XFL with TV deals as they would with the NFL. But each year we've seen these deals go up and up and up between the NFL and the television companies, NBC, CBS, On one aspect of it, I think this is the beginning for Fox and Disney to hardball with NFL to try to get those costs a little bit lower, the purchasing rights. But also, it'd be nice to have XFL back. I mean, I enjoyed it. You're starting to see some of the rules and the things that they did in the XFL try to implement it into the NFL. Like, for example, the onside kick. I believe actually the Philadelphia Eagles were the ones that proposed it. Started to get a little bit of legs underneath it, but unfortunately it didn't pass, which was the onside rule that they proposed wasn't just getting rid of the onside kick, and if you decide to go for an onside kick, it's a 4th down play, like a 4th and 15. If you get the first down, you get the ball wherever you get it at. Obviously, if you don't get the 4th down, then the other team gets the ball. But I think it was Ian Rappaport, had a article out also about this, that the NFL should be one to step in and buy the XFL. And I've been saying this since week 2, I believe, of the XFL. Turn it into a developmental league. And he made a good point that you could even turn it into a developmental league for coaches, assistant coaches, GMs. You know, you're trying to get more minorities into the head coaching jobs and stuff like that. There may be minorities out there that don't have all the head coaching experience or the coordinator experience. What better way than have it on, in your AAA type teams? We see that a lot in the minor leagues for hockey. Just last year, when the Flyers fired Dave Hackstall, they brought up Gordon from Lehigh. Pittsburgh Penguins have been known to do that. I think it would be more beneficial for the NFL to purchase the XFL, because it will help bring better product to the NFL between players and coaches. And obviously they have the money to buy the league. But if there's a broadcast company that's going to purchase this and not the NFL, and if it is Fox and Disney, I think that's going to send shockwaves through the television networks, because then now it will, I think, slow up the negotiation process, because they have nothing to compare it to. Like when NFL hits free agency or NBA or whatever, you got players always trying to raise that bar. I gotta be the highest paid player, aka Dak Prescott, which he should not be paid that, but I'm hoping he still does. Now, also the other thing, and I think I said this about 2 or 3 episodes ago, was the rumor was Vince McMahon was rumored to be trying to buy his company back. Well, unfortunately, that's not happening. He came out, said he's not interested in buying his league back at all. With that being said, whatever company does buy it, do you bring Oliver Luck back? I mean, obviously, it was successful enough that it took a pandemic to shut it down. It wasn't like AAF or whatever league that was last year that just completely shut down because they had no money whatsoever. I mean, I'd bring Oliver Luck back. I thought he did a hell of a job. Even the head coaches at the same team, obviously you got the same teams there. Bring everything back how it was. I thought it was entertaining. Talking to some people, they were entertained. I don't think I heard any bad things about it. But we should find out something sooner rather than later. There is a August date set to finally say who's going to buy it. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully we get back next spring. Now, one season that I still don't think is going to happen is Major League Baseball. 2 weeks ago, the owners sent over a proposal to the players that got shot down. And now the players have sent over to the owners a 114 game schedule that would cover 70% of their original salaries. Now, this whole time, the players have been holding out, trying to get the full prorated of their salaries. The 114 games would go till end of October, go into the postseason with and this is the funny part, is a stipulation that the players could opt out of not having a postseason, so they could play the 114 games, get their 70% of their salaries, and then just say, nah, we don't want to do a postseason. I think that's kind of sketchy. But this was proposed Sunday. Yesterday, the owners shot it down. Now, the first proposal that the owners sent was an 82-game schedule. There has been talk of owners proposing a 50-game schedule. And with a 50-game schedule, it would only cover 30% of the player's salary. The more and more they bicker, the more time they are running out. I understand the owners are going to be losing a lot of money. And the more these proposals get passed back and forth, it's almost better if the owners didn't even have a season. They'll actually be saving a little bit more money by not having a season. Both the owners and players, if they want to get a season started, it's got to happen in the next couple of days, because we're already 1 week into June, and if you want to start up a training camp in July, you got to come to some type of agreement. And with this 50-game schedule that the owners supposedly have been talking about, didn't even send it back over to the players after the players sent the 114-game proposal. The owners even responded with they're not sending over a counter proposal. It's just getting ugly and stupid. You know, you got the NBA coming back, which I'll touch on. The NHL is starting up in July, first week of July. Football is right around the corner. And these guys are just bickering back and forth. Like, they're about to lose a full season. It just makes no sense why either owners or players can't come to an agreement. All over money. And the thing is, too, with the players, is 30% is better than nothing. Okay, yes, you know, the players that make the $25-32 million a year probably have money saved to get through a year. But what about the smaller guys that only make the veteran minimum or the rookie minimum? You know, I'm pretty sure they don't got money saved up to spend for, you know, a year. But, you know, I still think this is a moot point. I still think there's going to be no baseball this year, which is a little sad. I mean, even though the O's stink past couple years, I do enjoy watching baseball. Even sitting outside watching it on my phone with my boys. And even their Little League season, my oldest, was postponed because of the pandemic and everything. But so yeah, I don't think there's gonna be a baseball season. It's, like I said, a little sad, but you know, what are you gonna do? So some NFL news. Actually, let's talk about this NBA thing, because it's just weird. So NBA have come to an agreement with the players for a postseason, for a 22-team postseason. Now, you would think it would be 11-on-11. No. It's 13 teams from the Western Conference and 9 from the Eastern. Once I saw that, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to read any more about it. It just sounds stupid, looks stupid. And I'm seeing stuff now popping up, you know, different like tiebreakers, and it just sounds like a shit show going on in the NBA. But as of right now, and all the games are going to be played in Orlando. Here are the 13 teams from the Western Conference: the LA Lakers, LA Clippers, the Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz, OKC Thunder, Houston Rockets, Dallas Mavericks, Memphis Grizzlies, Portland Trail Blazers, New Orleans Pelicans, Sacramento Kings, San Antonio Spurs, and the Phoenix Suns. Eastern Conference, we got Milwaukee Bucks, Toronto Raptors, Boston Celtics, Miami Heat, Indiana Pacers, the Sixers, Brooklyn Nets, Orlando Magic, and the Washington Wizards. I probably will not be watching one game. I mean, I'm hoping the Sixers win and everything like that, obviously, because I like my Philly sports teams, but it just sounds like this is going to be a shit show. And you know, going back to Major League Baseball, maybe that's why they're taking so long, is they want to get everything perfect. Well, unfortunately, this time of our lives, with everything going on, is not a perfect time that we've encountered. Gotta kind of go day by day with what they're trying to set up with. So, some NFL news. George Kittle, the 49ers tight end, wants to get paid, and rightfully so. Problem is, he wants to be not only the highest paid tight end, but highest paid something. Now, I read the article on ESPN, and he wants to be the highest paid tight end and is actually aiming higher. Just to give you some numbers, Austin Hooper signed with the Cleveland Browns this past offseason for 4 years, $42 million. So that's roughly $10.5 million a year. Okay. Los Angeles Chargers tight end Hunter Henry is making roughly about that, $10.6 million. And George Kittle wants to aim higher than that. It almost sounds like he wants to aim higher for like Julio Jones, Amari Cooper type money, which they're making roughly about 20 million per season. George Kittle's good, okay? I don't disagree with that. He's a top 3 tight end. To me, he is the 3rd tight end. I would take Travis Kelce and Zach Ertz over him 90% of the time. And as an Eagles fan, I hope the Niners don't break the bank on George Kittle, because we still have yet to renegotiate with Zach Ertz. And if Kittle sets the bar high, we may not be able to afford Zach Ertz. Now, George Kittle and his representatives have been in contact with the Niners back in February to start the negotiation, but then obviously the pandemic hit, and no one knows if that's why they really haven't talked just yet. Right now, Kittle is set to make $735,000 this year, which is his final year of his rookie contract. I mean, still not a bad amount of money for, you know, a rookie tight end, or a tight end not in the first round. But to go from $735,000 to, I don't think he's asking for the $20 million, but even if he's looking at $16-17 million, that's way too much. I'm sorry, for a tight end. Even Rob Gronkowski, before he started getting hurt and everything like that, I would still not pay them that much. If you're going to get paid $16-17 million, you better be at least 80% of that offense, whether it's touchdown yards, receptions. I mean, you better have that whole offense on your back, because Jimmy Garoppolo, he's going to be a good enough quarterback. He's not going to be anything great, but you better make him look great for that amount of money. Now, if Zach Ertz asks for it, I would pay Zach Ertz maybe the $12 to $13 million a year. I mean, if Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry can get 10.5, I think Kelsey, Ertz, and Kittle are all better than those two guys. Even a lot better. But not no $17, $18 million a year type better. So I don't know what the number is Kittle's looking for. Like I said, he's a good tight end, but he's not the greatest. And he doesn't line up like he doesn't play like a wide receiver. Breakaway speed or breakaway speed on cornerback, or I mean, he's very, very good blocker. That one, I think he's a better blocker, run blocker than a receiving tight end. You guys might not agree with me. That's my opinion. But he is a very good tight end now, overall. But not no 20 million, not no 18 million. So we'll see in the next few weeks with football, starting to come back and stuff like that, if they get something hammered out and where that number will fall. Now, a little bit of Eagles talk here. Deshaun Jackson made a statement that, I'm all for. Earlier this week, Deshaun Jackson made the statement that if the stadiums do not have fans in the seats in the stadium, he would love to see each player mic'd up. And I'm all for it, and I will be there for it. Like I said earlier about the XFL, there's some things in the XFL that seems like it's starting to come over to the NFL. And this would be one of them I think they would do a really well job with. It was interesting to see in the XFL what the players think of the quarterback when he threw a 70-yard touchdown, or after an interception, what did the cornerback see? Why did he, pick it off? Was he reading the quarterback's eyes? Things like that. And Deshaun even was quoted saying, I think they should mic up players. They should give fans the insight to see what really goes on between the white lines. It gets crazy, bro. I know in the trenches it gets crazy. And I know on the outside it gets crazy too. The conversations we go back and forth. That is what I would love to hear. The trash talking going on. Obviously, you're gonna have to have somebody at all times ready for the beep button, because there's gonna be a lot of cursing. But I'd be all for that. Another idea, if they don't go for the mic players, and this would incorporate social distancing, but also get the players or get the fans to the stadiums. Alex Mack of the Falcons suggested the idea of having movie theater screens outside of the stadium showing the game. Now you think about it, you get 30,000 cars, because you figure if two people in each car is about 60,000, that's your stadiums. Even if it's 30,000 cars, Deshaun Jackson scores an 80-yard touchdown. You're still, the players will still hear the fans screaming and hollering. Now you're going to have your car horns. It would help bring that fan emotion back into the stadium. Fox wanting to pipe in fake fan noise is stupid. Beyond stupid. I don't even know why they even brought that idea up. If they do that, I probably would put the game on mute and turn on Mike Quick and Merle Reese and listen to them for the Eagles games. We all know, this first couple weeks of the NFL season is going to be a little different. If they have no fans in the stadiums, it's going to be a shock to all of us, from fans to coaches to the players. It's going to be something to get used to, but don't make us feel like we're dumb or something by piping in fan interaction, fan noise. Like, we really need a fan noise piped in that, oh, it's time to boo. Oh, wait, that's right, I gotta go boo now. Or if you're going to the bathroom or whatever at your house, and you hear piped in fan noise of cheering. Oh, I gotta get out there to see what happens. Why? If you could see it on the TV, you see them score a touchdown, you're gonna yell. You don't need fan noise to do that. The players aren't gonna hear it. So let's mic them up. Why don't we do both of Deshaun's idea and Alex Mack? Mic it up, put the movie theaters on. The fans outside in the parking lots could hear Deshaun Jackson trash talking with Richard Sherman, since we played the Niners this year. I think it'd be really interesting and a really cool aspect of the game if they were to mic up some of these players, and even to still somewhat get the being at the game feel, the movie theater thing. Now, we know the NFL is a no fun league, so they'll probably won't do either of these. But, I mean, we're still 2 months away from any preseason or regular season game. So, and the way the nation's going, the pandemic is getting a little bit better. So maybe this would be a moot point. We'll have fans in the stadium anyways. Last bit of news that I want to talk about kind of brings in everything going on in the nation right now. So there's a video came out of J.R. Smith beating up a looter, a vandal, person that was vandalizing. And what had happened was J.R. Smith noticed that this person came up to his truck and started smashing his windows. J.R. Smith ran over and started beating the shit out of him. Normally, I would bash J.R. Smith for doing this and saying he's a douchebag, scumbag. NBA should suspend him, this and that, the other thing. But first off, it was a residential area, and after this video came out, J.R. Smith posted a video telling his side of the story, exactly what happened. And he said that he was in a residential area, and this dude or this kid just came up and started vandalizing cars. There was no protesters around protesting the police brutality thing that they're trying to protest, the George Floyd thing. But there's a difference between protesting and being a douchebag looter. What are you gaining by destroying other people's property? That's you're not bringing any justice to the cause right now. And the cause right now is trying to get the police brutality of what happened to George Floyd to end. And all you're doing is actually, by looting and burning buildings and smashing and all that stupid shit you guys are doing, it's only making matters worse. And the only thing I would suggest to people is these anti-Tifas or whatever they freaking call their names. They're like the Jerry Springers. They're feeding off this drama. We need to be more like the one sheriff. Forget exactly what state he was from. But he was on. He got brought onto Good Morning America and stuff like that because he put his batons down to that, and he told the protesters, I want to be with you. I want to protest with you. What do you want me to do? And the protesters said, walk with us. And that's what they did. That's what you guys, that's what we got to do as a whole. And I try to keep the politics and that type of stuff that's going on right now off the show, because it is a touchy subject, but something's got to change, and these looters and people that are vandalizing is not the way to change everything. So hopefully we start coming around, we start listening to each other, and get this going the right way. But as far as J.R. Smith, NBA better not touch him, better not suspend him. All he was doing is defending his property. I'll tell you this, if anybody busts into my house and wants to vandalize my house, the best quote I saw so far was, before you come in my house, you better get right with God, because you ain't coming out. Sorry for getting a little political or whatever you want to call it there, but you know, I had to finally say something, because it was building up in me watching all this shit that's been going on. So I think that's gonna be it for this week. I may try to do a show tomorrow or Saturday before the UFC fights, because I do want to talk a little bit about John Jones with that little pissing contest he's got going on with Dana White, and maybe get my UFC picks. So, but before I go, head over to Twitter, follow us there at ST Sports Podcast, like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, head over to staytunesports.net. Like I said, all the episodes are there. The link for our merchandise is there. Buy some shirts, you know. But if you do buy some shirts, it seems like there is a little bit of a delay in shipments because of obviously the whole corona pandemic that is dwindling down slowly. So till next week, this is your good friend Jimbo, signing out.